When I remarked to that little girl in Michigan that Little House wasn't one of my regrets, her face transformed. It was like a switch had been thrown. That's all she needed to hear. That beaming child stepped forward and wrapped me in a hug. I was touched by her genuine emotion, but her question about regrets was a big one. What do we do with our regrets? They can inspire us or shatter us. That much I knew. At least in part, they define us. As I sit to write this first chapter, my first regret that comes to mind is the entire bag of peanut M&Ms I ate after dinner yesterday. I had more than one trip to the bathroom last night searching for Tums and other stomach remedies. Overindulgence meant that 5 a.m. came even earlier than it normally would. That might seem like an unnecessary overshare, but I know that a voracious sweet tooth runs in my family, and family is where this chapter needs to start. I'm a fifth-generation Californian. That's unusual in Los Angeles, where it often seems like everyone has come from somewhere else to pursue their dreams here. My family has been in the Americas since the 17th century. You're not listening to my memoir for genealogy, of course, but my family history has shaped my life in ways it has taken me years to understand, and it is a vital part of my story. My family history also parallels that of the real-life man behind my most famous role, and that's a good place to start. Almanzo James Wilder's family arrived in North America in the 1630s. My earliest American ancestors arrived in that same decade. Almanzo's father, James, was born near Milton, Vermont, in 1813. His parents, Abel and Hannah, eventually moved their family to the Salmon River Valley, 2 miles from the village of Malone in the state of New York. In 1840, James bought the land on Stacy Road and built the farm where his son Almanzo was born in 1857. That farm, which I have visited many times, still exists today as a historical landmark. To search my own family history, I don't have to go far. 3 steps from my dining room table, an old brown book sits on the shelf. Titled Genealogy and Recollections, it was written by my great-great-grandfather, Albert Alfonso Moore. Hardbound on heavy bond paper, the book was privately printed in 1915. I own one of only a dozen surviving copies. A.A., as my great-great-grandfather was known, wanted to share family history with his living descendants. He also cast a keen eye on the future, hoping that those born long after he was gone would take an interest in the stories he shared. A.A. opens his book with words I know will resonate with those who have loved Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls Wilder and my ancestor each had similar hopes.